Good evening, everyone. This is Leslie Osoyan from Better Wethersfield. Tonight is Friday, March 7th, 2014. Welcome to the show. It's been a while, but we're really excited about tonight's show. It is the show about the Jets team at Wethersfield High School, and we're going to be talking about their national championship at the Ability One Design Championship. They won recently. I think it was just, a couple of weeks ago or?
Last Friday.
Last Friday, okay. And I'm going to introduce to you some of the design team members from Wethersfield Jets team, and we're going to talk about all the details about their team and the championship that they won, and we'll get into all of that in just a minute. But let's meet the team members. To my left here is Zach Angelucci. And over here is Sebi Galino and Jason Yanaros. Did I get that right?
Yep.
And Jason is actually the captain of the team and a senior at Wethersfield High School. And their after-school program is called the Jets team, formerly Wethersfield High School Design Team. So, Jason, tell us a little bit about your team.
So our team competed this year again in the Ability One Design Challenge. It's sponsored by Source America, and we had the privilege of placing in the finals this year as well as last year. The finals include 5 of the top teams of the nation, and we graciously placed first.
Do you know how many teams entered?
90 this year.
Whoa, that's a lot. Wow. That's fantastic. And you guys won. And you won overall design, too.
Right.
That's fantastic. Can you guys show your medals? Let's show them. That's fantastic. And then here's their big award, too. This is fantastic. You see that? Let me get that right. And you have about, 30 students in the program, the after-school program?
Our team roster has 22 members on it.
Okay.
So.
And so the Jets team is an after-school program, and it's been in existence for how long?
Since 1998.
And it's a free program, so anyone can join. A freshman can join all the way up through seniors. We've got the 2 seniors right here, and Zach is a junior. So anyone can join the team. And what prompted you guys to join the Jets team?
Well, personally, I joined sophomore year, and I joined because I really liked what the team was doing and helping someone every year in the workplace, specifically someone with a disability.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Sebi?
Many of my friends were on the team, and I kind of followed them into it, and it wasn't until actually working on last year's design that I realized that I really loved doing this, and that's why I came back this year.
Wonderful.
And I also did it for the reasons that Jason did, to help people, especially people with disabilities, and also to explore the field of engineering.
Wonderful. So let's talk about the Ability One entering that competition. So the design is specific to people with disabilities. So it's not just any particular design. So why don't you give me the details about that? What is the criteria in terms of entering your prototype or your design or?
Right. So for the challenge, it has a number of criteria. First being that you have to help someone with a disability in the workplace. The person we helped was a man named Tyron Hill. He has acquired brain injury, which left him with lower dexterity, and he must use a wheelchair. Other than that, the device must also have principles of the universal design, which means that more than one person can use it, and it must work, things like that. But mostly it's that you have to help someone with a disability in the workplace.
Okay. So let's talk about this this device. What's it called?
Our device is called the PATH.
PATH.
It's an acronym for Personal Assistant for Tyron Hill.
Tyron Hill being the person that?
Tyron Hill is the person that we built the device for. So.
Okay. And so let's kind of give an idea of how this works. Do we want to show the YouTube video so we can get an idea of how this is the actual device that won the championship right here? If we can kind of zoom in on this a little bit. But we do have a YouTube video that these folks published that gives details about how it actually works. And Tyrone Hill is in it, right?
Yes.
And so if we can go into that and show that, that would be really good.
The path is used as follows. First, the envelope is removed from the dispenser onto the upper wedges of the headpiece. Pressing the foot pedal raises the dropper, creating space for the envelope to be moved across the surface. It is then repositioned underneath the opening bar, stripping opening the envelope flap. The envelope then moves directly under the dropper, which falls as the pedal is released. The envelope slides up the dropper. The chains are picked up from the dashboard by the hook attached to the headpiece rod and dropped into the funnel envelope complex.
I like it. I like it.
The envelope is moved off the dropper using the headpiece. The pedal is pressed, which raises the dropper, and the envelope is pushed to the right. The envelope is then moved along a small ramp towards the stapler, which partially closes the flap. The envelope slides into the electric stapler, fully closing the flap and stapling it shut. The finished product is then moved over and off of the workspace into a small...
Well, that's fantastic. That's
So-
wonderful.
So that's just a segment of our video. If you'd like to see the full video, it's available on YouTube. I don't remember the full name. I'm sure you will put it somewhere.
we can post it and give the details at the end of our segment. So in terms of, let's talk about when your team all got together and in designing this. How did that come about? What was the process in doing that? And like in terms of testing this and making sure that it worked, and because in order to win a national championship and you're against 90 other competitors and schools, and it's, by the way, folks, it's not just high school, it's college too, who can submit. Is that correct?
It's a separate competition for college.
Oh, it's a separate competition? Okay. Because on the website it said high school and college,
Yep,
but that's
there's-
separate.
there's
Okay.
two.
Oh, there's two. Okay.
competitions.
So that's a lot, 90 other competitors. So you really had to kind of dot all your I's and cross your T's. So how did you come up with the design? How did you had to test it all, and, how did you make sure it all worked?
Well, the first thing that we had to do was go to CW Resources to take a tour of the facility and see what kind of projects they were working on at the time.
Now tell the audience what CW Resources is.
Now, CW Resources is a company that specializes in hiring people with disabilities to give them a chance at working.
It's actually a nonprofit
Yes.
agency is the official title. But
Yes, it is a nonprofit agency.
Okay.
Now, when we went to CW Resources, we toured the building and we saw all the different projects they were working on. And we were there and we saw the project that we worked on, the chains, and we also saw packing binder clips into boxes. Now, after that first visit, we went back and we thought, how could we make this? How could we do this? And in that process and other trips to CW Resources, we found out about Tyrone Hill, who we ultimately thought it would be a great idea to help him to improve his quality of life, because he was packing binder clips for about 3 years?
over 3 years.
Over 3 years. And then after that, we had to think of the problem that we had to solve, which was how do we give him the ability to put these chains into these envelopes without use of his hands or his left foot. He did have use of his right foot, so we did take advantage of that. And through multiple meetings and lots of brainstorming, we finally came up with definitely multiple designs and lots of trial and error to come up with our final product here.
So it was a product that anyone could use without the use of their hands.
That we were originally aiming for. We wanted to create a device that allowed anyone with low dexterity to do this job.
Okay.
And then we saw Tyrone and we said, let's make this our goal.
Okay.
So we would have created a device nonetheless, but Tyrone was our goal. He's
Okay.
what we shot for.
So it fulfills two purposes, for those with low dexterity and those with no hands.
Yes.
So
Right.
the ones who don't have the use of their hands can use this.
Yes.
And then if they do have the use of their hands, then they don't use this, right?
Right.
Well, yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Or is there a caveat to that? Or
No, people with
No?
low dexterity, very low dexterity, can just use their hands
Okay.
on the board and use the funnel. If it's extremely low, or if their hands tremble, which is the case for Tyrone, they can use the headpiece. So
okay. And so is it easy to pick this up, or did someone say something about a foam piece here or something?
That's right. One of the adjustments we might make for someone who's not using the headpiece would be to add a foam surface to make it easier to pick up the chains.
Right.
We found that the hook does best on a hard surface, so it doesn't dig in, but
Right.
when you're using your hands, you can easily pick up the chain because the surface is malleable.
Right. And so this is the finished product. Do you know what this ultimately is used for? Do you know what this is?
The chains are the same chains used for identification chains of the military. So
okay.
dog tags.
Got it. Okay.
These are the chains that would hold the dog tags on our soldiers' necks.
Oh, wow. Wonderful. That's great. And so how did the design team, the JETS team, build a relationship with CW Resources? How did that come about?
well, we had used CW Resources last year, and for the challenge last year, we had gone to them and met with Kevin Little and made a device for him last year. And this year, CW was the first organization that we contacted.
Okay.
Because we figured that they had a lot of jobs. 70% of the people they employ are people with disabilities.
Okay.
So we figured we could pick up something else.
Right.
Find some other area that needed help.
So in terms of your device, when you got the design, you came up with this great idea, so let's talk about the testing of it, because you want to make sure that it works every time that you use it. How
Right.
was that a labor-intensive process? How many times did you test it? Was it a success rate? What kind of tweaking did you have to do?
Well, we really have a long history of testing, if you will. This isn't our first prototype. Clearly, we've made modifications, but the previous prototype, the dropper, the white PVC tube that you see moving in the video,
Which is this piece right in front?
right.
Okay.
So that piece was totally stationary, did not move in one of our previous prototypes, and by having it stationary, it actually slowed Tyrone down. So to increase his efficiency and allow him to do the job much more quickly and more efficiently, we added the foot pedal and allowed the moving dropper.
Fantastic. Do you
and
know how many he can do a minute, or half an hour? Do you know?
It's about
It's about one piece per minute.
One piece per minute?
Or at least that's what we actually did an extrapolation based on the data that we found during our visits. And we found that in the future he will hopefully tend towards about a minute per envelope. At the moment he's doing an envelope in a minute and a half.
Okay.
There is a learning curve with this device, and we do anticipate him to get faster.
He will. I'm sure. I mean, that's kind of, the more you do it, I guess the faster you'll get. Was the management there happy with the results in terms of what Tyrone was able to do? Was it faster than what he was doing before?
His previous job was totally different.
Oh, he wasn't doing this? Okay.
He was never able to do this job before, which is one of the parts that we love so much.
Yeah,
is that
absolutely.
We gave him a second job.
Good.
Now, some people might wonder, will that actually give him more money? And we say yes, because he can work more,
Right.
so he can get paid more for more hours.
Okay.
And sorry, this project wasn't necessarily about making him more money. It was just about helping him
Absolutely.
and giving him better quality of life. Because, like we said, he was doing his previous job at CW Resources for over 3 years.
Yeah.
And he was a little, I guess I would say, tired of it. As how he described it.
Right.
It was a little tedious.
He described the job as tedious.
Yeah. Well, plus it gives him an opportunity to do something different, plus someone else to do his former job. So, and that's kind of how it works in mainstream employment as well. So that's good. And how did the management team there feel about this particular device? Were they pleased with the result?
I believe so, yes. I think they're hopeful with this device that we can provide him with a better workplace experience.
Is this the only one there is?
At the moment, yes. This is the only path.
Will it be reproduced?
Good.
Potentially, we don't anticipate mass production because it's a specialized product. So we're not going to be selling these to many people. But we do have blueprints and specifications for companies to build their own if they need it. So we do expect to make more, but not many.
Okay. And so does the Wethersfield design team, do they patent any of their designs that they invent, they make? Will this one be patented?
This will not be patented. We did not create this device to make money. And if someone else creates a device exactly like it, we don't really mind. We created this device to improve someone's quality of life, and we're not going to stop someone from doing the same for someone else.
Okay. And so in terms of a patent, has it ever, have you ever gotten a patent for anything at the
We have one other, one of our previous devices is patent pending at the moment. It's the walk-in. Some people may be familiar with
We
it.
just got to know.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. So let's talk about this wonderful award that you guys got. Did you want to talk about a little bit about that, the official ceremony and what took place? I understand it happened down in Washington, D.C. Do you want to tell us about that trip and who went? You also have, I guess we would be remiss if we didn't talk about your coach, who is Mr. Kess, right?
Mr. Kess, yes.
And he is your physics teacher at the high school? So
Physics and computer science, yes.
Okay. And is he your mentor or just your coach, or not just your coach? A coach is a big deal. But you have other mentors as well. Do you want to highlight any of your mentors or helpers or?
Yeah, yes, of course. So we have a variety of mentors. We have engineering mentors. My dad is one of these mentors, and Mr. Weissmuller, and Bill Smyers as well. They're engineering mentors, so they help us with any design problems we need help with, or any ideas. So when we're brainstorming, they're there to help us structure how we think and make sure everything is a nice, pleasant environment for ideas to come out. And then we have other advisors, like Miss Fennelly, who is very familiar with the challenge, so she knows what we have to do and get done. Okay. For example, to compete in this challenge, you have to submit a video, which we showed you a section of, and a report, and we have to submit them by January 17th. We did, and we.
Gee, so the turnaround time was quickly in terms of you getting an answer.
Yes and no.
No, because you found out pretty quickly.
We were supposed to find out if we had made it to the finals by late January, but we found out in the first week of February. There were lots of, I guess this is late January jokes going around. But so we only knew that we were going to the finals a few weeks prior.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was pretty fast.
Yeah.
And so you win, and then there's a ceremony in Washington, D.C.?
Yes, essentially.
Well, tell us about it. I won't put words in your mouth, so tell us. Tell the
So
audience about it.
the entire process was a 3-day process. We went down on Wednesday, where we had kind of a meet and greet, and then guest speakers, things like that. And then that was basically the end of Wednesday. But Thursday, we came, set up a booth with our device, a laptop showing our video, and a backboard, a poster board, sorry, that had all the information about our device. And then we stood around, and people came and asked us about it, and we went and asked about the other devices too. So the second day was the learning day, and then the third day was the presenting day, where we went up and had a formal 15-minute presentation with a 5-minute question and answer section. Then we had another guest speaker, and finally we found out the results just after that.
Oh, fantastic. So what happened when it got around the high school that you guys won?
There was a lot of excitement.
I bet.
Unfortunately, it was announced approximately 3 o'clock on Friday, and school gets out at 2 o'clock, so it wasn't actually in school for them to announce. But we put out posts on Twitter and Facebook, and everybody was very happy for us.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I feel like every class I was in on the Monday we got back, they played the video.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, it's a really wonderful accomplishment. I mean, it's an organization that's been around since 1998. It's a national competition. You won overall best design. I mean, it's a big deal. It's something that really should be, highlighted. It's really a big deal. It says a lot about the group of all of you. It's an after-school program. It's a volunteer thing that you do. It's free to all freshmen through seniors, right?
Right.
So it really shows your commitment to what you're doing. So it says a lot about you guys and what you're trying to accomplish. So I think it's really wonderful. I mean, it's fantastic. So you won some money, the school and the group and the coach, and so that goes into your general fund, right? And that helps support your next endeavor for next year, right?
Exactly. So some of the prize money essentially goes towards next year. There are certain things we have to pay for, whether it being the device or actually getting down to DC if we do make it. So we like to save quite a bit of money to allow us to go down the next year.
Right. And so is this going to go to CW Resources? You're going to give them this? Or?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As soon as we're done with all the interviews,
Really?
it's going straight to Mooch.
Oh, is that his name, Mooch? Nickname?
His nickname, yes.
Oh, that's great. Oh, this is really fantastic. Well, it's been so wonderful having you guys on the show, and it's so great. I saw the superintendent just a couple of days ago in front of a group of parents and really talking about you guys and singing your praises. So proud of you guys, and I am too. I think it's really fantastic, and my son and my nephew are in the back, and they're only 10 and 11, and I insisted that they come because it's so important, because this is, this is how this is the future. You guys are the future, and this is how they learn. So it's really important what you're doing, and you should be so proud of yourselves, and I think it's fantastic. So congratulations, and thanks for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Well,
thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you again on our next episode of Better Wethersfield. Good night, everyone.